African Safari Wildlife Park is a wild experience with over 800 exotic animals. Our drive-through safari features giraffes, zebras, deer, elk, alpacas, and even a white bison, all of which you can feed right from your vehicle. Walk on the wild side with the Zoo It All Pass and feed kangaroos, porcupines, tortoises, and rabbits. Step into our aviary adventure and hand-feed budgies for a memorable experience. Check out our live educational shows or ride a camel. Create memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio Safari Park, African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here, of course, on Main Street TV. Jennifer here with our good friend, Pete Wilson.
I'm here.
He is. To start off the morning news update, brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. And if you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs, of course, Nia is your girl to call. 740-418-4135. You can ask her anything and she'll help you out with anything real estate. All right, Pete, what's going on? Do you know what we haven't had lately? Any COVID updates?
Right. You know, that bears checking.
I guess that's good.
Just for the record. Yeah, I think if it was bad, we'd probably hear about it.
I'm hearing kind of nationally things are perking up a little bit, so that's a bad deal.
Well, there's certainly pockets there, and they're talking about with the Pfizer, maybe a third vaccine would be necessary. I'm hoping not, because that's the one that I had.
Oh.
So we'll just have to watch that. Remember, you know, we've said this all along, and probably some people kind of poo-pooed it, thinking that we're worrywarts. COVID is not gone; it's around.
No, it's certainly not gone.
Do you remember last year when it seemed to be in decline in the summer?
Yep.
And you know, there was events, but they were regulated and whatever, and everybody was thinking that you know, it was whipped maybe. And then the winter came around.
Yeah.
January and
then
February.
Christmas was a nightmare around that time.
Right, exactly. And so you know, we will see. A lot of people are had the vaccine, you know, about maybe 40% here in Jackson County. And, you know, a disproportion of that percent are adults and people who are the most vulnerable, probably. A lot of younger people have not had it. And there's a lot of debate about whether they should or they shouldn't, or it's necessary. Right. So we shall see. But right now, life is normal, and life will be normal at the Jackson County Fair.
It will be.
Which is right around the corner even this evening. But we will get to that. But there's some other news that's breaking that we're going to go to first.
Oh, no.
Right. Wellston School Board meeting last night. They had a special session meeting at the high school, and it turned out to be very eventful because the school district's top executive, Karen Bach, who has been the superintendent there since 2010, over 10 years, she submitted notification of her retirement, her pending retirement.
Oh, man.
And it was accepted unanimously by the school board. And she will be leaving via retirement effective October the 29th. And so that's pretty soon.
That is.
You know, that is 2 months into the new school year, and the new school year should be just about a month away. And so, you know, the school board will certainly be scrambling to find either, you know, a temporary, an interim superintendent, and they will soon be conducting a superintendent search, I'm sure. But the backstory on this is, and now at the school board meeting itself, this was just an item on the agenda. The school board, you know, approved it 5-0.
Hey, what happens if they don't? Has that ever happened?
Well,
no, you cannot retire.
That is, yeah, that's very interesting. I've not had that.
But we don't want you to, so no, we're gonna vote no. I don't know.
That's right. There's
stranger things have happened.
Right, I've been around a long time. I've not had that one happen yet. But okay, yeah. What if they don't let you retire? What if they don't vote for it? But anyway, folks who pay attention in the Wellston School District know that there have been some divisions there. When Mrs. Bach's last contract came up along with some other administrators, the school board declined to give her a multi-year contract.
Okay.
They ended up giving her a 1-year contract, which after you've been there 10 years or so, it is not a great vote of confidence or agreement, however you want to put it, of support.
Right.
And so she was under a 1-year contract that actually started, I believe, on this coming August the 1st. So, I mean, she is leaving before the end of her contract. So, there have been, through recent months, different developments and votes on personnel when, certain persons being hired at maybe even for a coaching job, where there is disagreements between what the superintendent has recommended and what the board ends up doing. There's been a number of 3-2 votes, which indicate that there are divisions on the school board
Okay.
that are reflective of support to a degree for the superintendent and maybe even the general administration there. And so now Mrs. Bach did not make any statement last night. The school board did not make any comments, pro or con, in accepting this, but it happened last night. She will be leaving effective October the 29th. And of course, interesting that this year is one of those off-year elections, which means that school board members are up for election. Not all of them, but either 2 or 3 of them. They do it staggered. Every 2 years, either 2 people are running or 3 people are running on a 5-member board. So, everybody isn't up at once.
Right.
But in Wellston, I'm not sure whether it's 2 or 3, but there are seats up, and, all this may play into, more interest in candidacies. When there's dissension and disagreement, it brings people out because, they feel that it needs to be resolved, or they're for one side or the other. So we will see there. But I will say this, Mrs. Bach will be around until at least October the 29th. I've had very good relations with her. On the press side, we're always concerned about someone who is straight with us and responsive and gets back to us, explains things, background or whatever. And Karen has always done that for everybody on our staff, myself, Phil Buffington, who is the regular cover person for the Wellston City Schools. And so, aside from the issues that I won't get into right now, because I certainly don't know as much about them as the principals do, I will say I do appreciate the cooperation we've had through the years from Karen Bach, and we wish her well in her retirement. But once again, Karen has been the superintendent there for since 2010, so that will be a big change there for the school district. Also at last night's meeting, now this brought more attention to the meeting than that did, even though obviously the resignation or the retirement of the superintendent is the big news. There were members of the Wellston High School football team there, along with, I think, at least one adult.
Okay.
And they were questioning and asking the school board to reconsider one of those split decisions recently. At the July 6th regular meeting of the Wellston School Board, Chris Elsesser, who is a substitute teacher for the district, he was on the agenda to be hired as an assistant football coach.
Okay.
The board voted 3-2 against hiring him as an assistant football coach.
Okay.
So we wind the clock forward to this special meeting, which was last night, and members of the football team came, about 8 or 9 of them, and several of the kids spoke, including one of the seniors and the last year's returning starting quarterback, Jeremiah Frisbee, spoke. I think also Nathan Mollahan, an adult who is a football booster and a local business fan, he spoke as well, all in support of Chris Elsesser. The board went into executive session with Mr. Elsesser, and when they came out, they voted unanimously to hire him as an assistant coach.
What did they say what the problem was before? Was there an issue, or
if whatever problem there was, it was not made public. The school board just voted against hiring him. I'm sure most of these times at school board meetings, there are often executive sessions where things are discussed behind closed doors, and they're allowed to do that on personnel matters, employment matters, contractual matters. We always think that as much as possible should be out there for the public, but many of those things can be applicable to an executive session, which is closed door, private. However, the limiting factor about executive sessions is that no formal action can be taken in executive session. Whenever they make a decision, and they can discuss it, but whenever they make a decision, it has to be made in open session as a matter of record. And so I don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Well, evidently it was favorable.
Right, it was,
Chris.
and I guess the bottom line is, it's not. I don't think it's. I don't think it's certainly incorrect to infer that the decision of those football players and others, an adult or two, to go to that meeting and I guess let the democratic process take place, state your case, say, hey, listen, we think you're wrong on this. We are on the front lines. We're players. We're adults who are involved with the football program. We think that Chris Alcester would be good for the program. They made their pitch to the board, and they won the day. So,
Good.
it worked out for them.
That's how that's supposed to work. If people have issues, they should come and be able to be heard and then maybe reconsidered.
Right. Not an easy thing to do, especially, if you're a high school kid, you're standing up there,
That's tough,
in front
yeah.
of the people that run the district, and you're basically, even though you're obviously trying to do it in a positive way, you're challenging a decision that adults made.
You're right, and that's grown-up stuff, so good for them.
Right. So give
Yeah.
Jeremiah Frisbee, those other players, and everybody who
Absolutely.
came to that meeting to state their case, and whether they were successful or not, took some guts.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's two of the things that happened at the Wellston City Board of Education meeting. Of course, Phil Buffington is downstairs working on those stories
Okay.
as we speak. All right. We'll go south on State Route 93 now.
Okay.
And there's a big project taking place at Davis Stadium. Davis Stadium is the super nice facility at the Oak Hill High School Middle School campus. They've got the football field with the artificial turf, the track oval around it. Great new stadium that was built about 15 years ago with a lot of local money, major donation from the late Evan Davis helped make that happen, hence the name. Well, the turf, even though the artificial turf is great and the rubberized track surface is great, they don't last forever.
That's true.
And so now, very close to the football season, there is a major work project taking place down there at Oak Hill, and that is what the football field looks like now.
That's terrifying to see it like that, isn't it?
Right, there, right in front of the stands, that's where you would see all the pretty green, the
Yeah.
dark green turf. Well, they have pulled that up now, and they're rolling the dirt in preparation to put down the new artificial turf. But you ask, when is there a football game? The first home football game at Oak Hill is on August the 27th. And so obviously they want to be ready for that. They think they can. I was told by one of the school board members if they have to work a little extra to get it done, they'll get it done. Of course, weather can play a part in this.
It can.
But in addition to replacing the artificial turf with new artificial turf, they're also repairing the track and also replacing the rubberized surface of the track. So major work taking place at Oak Hill right now. Yes, they did want to start a little earlier, but the pandemic was an issue, the COVID-19 pandemic, and then the things about it that are kind of lingering issues, supply issues, transportation issues that kind of slow things down because COVID happened for all those months, and so. It slowed the start of the project. Not only the fact that some construction people weren't working a number of months ago,
Sure.
but then materials also weren't being made.
They weren't, and are also very expensive.
Right,
The
exactly.
ones you can get your hands on.
Right, and so this as far as the timing of the project, definitely had an impact. But once again, they believe that they can get it done. Of course, the football team will be practicing at a different location, the old football field where the old high school used to be. The band will practice at a different place there on the campus, and they're all crossing their fingers, counting on the fact that it will be ready by the time of the first home football game. The first football games are earlier this year. It's the third week of August instead of the fourth because they've expanded the playoffs.
The playoffs, yeah.
Right, exactly. So on August the 20th, Oak Hill will be playing Wellston. Thankfully, that game is at Wellston for the Oaks. That'll give them an
gives them one more week.
extra week before they need
Good deal.
before they need to have the game or the field ready. So a lot of work taking place, and that's behind the scenes kind of because that sits behind the school. Even though the school's on 93, it sits behind there. So a lot of people, if they didn't hear us or they didn't read it in the paper, they're talking from the with the school people, they may not even know that's going on. But that is a big money project
It's a
as
big
well.
deal.
But past due,
Yeah.
past due. The artificial turf does not last forever. Okay, at the last Jackson City Board of Education meeting, it was also pretty eventful. And one of the big things that happened there was the hiring of a new Jackson High School principal. Thad Haynes, who had been the principal for a number of years, decided to submit his resignation, and he will be taking another position in education. I'll have to tell you, I don't know what that is yet, but I know that he's got another job. But he has chosen to do that. And the man who was his right-hand man, Tyler Swackhammer, there you see him on the right there in the picture. He is with Superintendent Phil Howard. The school board had no reservations about immediately hiring him to be the principal. Of course, they were working kind of on a short leash time-wise because, you know, it's July now. But they are very glad to have Mr. Tyler Swackhammer move up from assistant principal to principal. He had been a teacher in the schools before. Just a by the way type thing. It's a small town. He is the son of David Swackhammer, who is the city service director here in Jackson. And so congratulations to Tyler Swackhammer. And there's been, you know, a lot of, we posted this on Facebook right after it happened, a lot of positive comments in support of Mr. Swackhammer. So he seems to have the support not only of the school hierarchy, but also of a lot of the teachers and parents and stakeholders in the district. So we certainly wish him the very best as well. Okay, well, we had all those things. So now we can get to the Jackson County Fair. I thought that would be at the top of the stack, but
well, they threw some stuff at you, didn't they, Pete?
Well, they did, and
some surprises.
And the Jackson County Fair, the pre-fair stuff, I guess you could call it, starts this evening with harness racing.
Yeah.
And Fair Board member Chris Walls kind of takes the bull by the horns on that. He's got it set up so there will be 2 sessions of harness racing, weather permitting. And you'll tell us about the weather a little bit later. It might be a little iffy.
I'm telling you, today is looking real good, Pete.
Today is good. Okay. Yep. Well, I know the advanced forecast heading into the week wasn't very good, but so it's a little better now. But tonight, the harness racing will get going at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow's racing cart also at 7 p.m. Now, if either of the harness racing, and if there's rain beforehand, you know, they can still do it.
Sure.
If there's a storm or a real hard rain, it could potentially cancel the harness racing. And what they'll do is, I'm told that if tonight's would get canceled, they would just have a double session tomorrow night. If tomorrow night gets canceled because of the weather, it's just off because there's nowhere to go.
Well, there's no rain in the forecast today, so you're good, Pete.
All right, so you know the ponies are waiting for you, and remember, not only is it fun to watch, you don't have to go to Scioto Downs or some far-off place or turn on a cable channel. Harness racing right here at the Jackson County Fair in Wellston at 7 p.m. tonight. It only costs $5 to get in. Programs are $3, and of course, the big attraction for many people is pari-mutuel betting.
Pick the guy with the prettiest outfit.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever scientific method you use to pick the winners, you know, it's fun to kind of have a little wagering there, and it's legal, so you can do it.
I know, right? It is a lot of fun.
Right. Okay. Well, anyway, as far as the full fair goes, we've already talked about some of the other activities, and we're going to talk a little bit more. We'll talk again on Monday at the start of the full week of the Jackson County Fair. But do not forget that this weekend, in addition to the harness racing on Thursday and Friday, the Kentucky Headhunters will be there on Saturday. And remember, it's an open. There they are again. This is
good guys.
Right, the Dumas Walker and their ski pop and all.
Yeah.
Heard that downstairs as they are promoting that concert, and I'm sure they will have a great attendance. They may not get the 10,000 plus that they had in 1990.
Hey, you don't know.
But there is interest. Open seating, first come, first serve. So you can look for, early crowd there, I think, an early arriving crowd. You can get the track seating, which is down in front, but you need to bring, your own.
BYOC.
You need to bring your own chair. It's first come, first serve on the seating in the grandstand. First come, first serve for the track space as well. There is no extra cost for that track space. It's just you need to get there early. It's going to cost you $10 to get in the gate. Yep. but that covers you getting into the grandstand as well. I am
That's right.
told that even though, there won't be carnival rides and some things won't be open, there's no junior fair, organized junior fair activities yet. There will be vendors working. They'll be
Yes.
there to feed you and give you those lemon shake-ups and everything like that.
So let me ask you this, Pete. So I will give you a sneak peek at the weather, and I'm not saying this. It's actually the better of the worst news. Have they mentioned anything about rain? Like if rain happens? Because here's the deal. They are calling for some rain on Saturday, but they're not calling for thunderstorms. They're calling just for some rain showers. So that's a completely different deal. Thunderstorms and rain are completely different.
Right.
Have
Yeah.
they mentioned anything about that, though?
I have not heard about any contingency at all. I think
Okay.
after they've been through COVID, they feel the weather gods.
We're gonna play.
The weather gods
Yeah.
will cooperate.
Yeah.
And
So even if it does get some rain on Saturday, they're not calling for those
and
thunderstorms.
I
which
would
would be good.
I would almost think, barring a major prolonged storm, it would just kind of delay things a little bit.
Maybe. Yeah.
People would scatter a little bit. The concert guys would go into their trailer or whatever, and they
Yep.
would wait it out, just like you maybe do a ball game if it
Sure.
rains through a little bit. Once that thunder burst moves through or whatever.
Yep.
So that's what I would guess. If it's one of those things, they'll have the phones on looking at the radar. Oh, this will be about 15 minutes. We'll wait it out because
There you go.
everybody's there. They paid their money. The headhunters are there. Contractually.
They're ready to play.
Right, exactly. And I know that they're eager to do it as well. But that is on Saturday. Also, on Sunday will be the opening ceremonies of the Jackson County Fair. And of course, this is when Presley Sexton will be crowned as the new fair queen. And Presley was the little
There she
queen.
is. Look how cute.
Was the Little Miss. They call it the Little Miss. That's her Little Miss picture there on the left, and that is Presley, of course, now on the right, who will be a senior at Jackson High School.
Yep.
And she has certainly worked and earned the right to be the fair queen. She's always been involved with 4-H all the way through. She has run for the different royalty levels because now they have the grade level attendance. She hasn't always won, but she's done pretty well. She did an interview with our Trevor Bailey, which we will feature in our Saturday paper. And the thing that she has learned through the fair and being involved as a royalty member is to never let a setback or disappointment get you down. Just keep plowing through.
Keep on going.
And then, you have a chance to gain your dream. And obviously this means a lot to her to be the fair queen, just as it did when she was the Little Miss. But that's going to be 4 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
Opening fair ceremonies there at the grandstand. They'll have some different announcements. They'll scholarship announcements. Some of the governmental people come and do their proclamations honoring the fair. It's a positive event there, and that's at 4 o'clock at the grandstand. And that day, you could get in that day. Not everything will be operating, but once again, there'll be some vendors operating food and whatever. So that is a $5 cost on that day. It's not the full cost because there's not the headhunters, but there are other activities going on that day. There'll be open rail. The Bluegrass Group will be playing that evening at the grandstand following the opening ceremony. And there will also be a church service or by Chris Wallace, well-known local pastor, youth pastor from the World Outreach Ministries.
Okay.
He'll be speaking before open rail, and during the afternoon there'll be some gospel music as well, and a church service, I believe, in the morning.
And that's just a
all
great
that on
day.
Sunday. All that on Sunday.
The gospel day is a wonderful day to spend. It'll be a nice, peaceful, quiet, fun day, I believe, at the fair before all the, rides and madness completely start. So it would be a good day to be up there.
Right. And every day of the fair except Sunday, when it's $5, and then the harness racing nights tonight and Thursday, $5. It's $10 to get in, but that does cover anything.
That's your rides and everything.
Yeah. You go to some fairs, and you may have to pay more for the premium entertainment or whatever. You don't at Jackson County, but there will be some discounts that will be available during the week. If you're a kid 12 and under, you can get in free on Monday. That's Kids Day, and ride the rides. Now, take into account that the rides will probably not be operating. That's their first full day until 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock,
Yes.
exactly.
So don't go at noon and expect rides. It's
Right,
not
and
going to
then
happen.
on the other end of the age spectrum, Senior Citizens Day is Tuesday. They'll have a Senior Citizens King and Queen thing where there are contestants from the different nursing homes and assisted living facilities. That'll be in the morning on Tuesday, and if you're a senior citizen, you can get in for half price that day. And then on Friday, that is Military Day and Veterans Day. And if you got your ID to show you're a veteran or a current member of the military, you get in free.
Okay, very good.
And of course, on the junior fair side, all the animal projects and the 4-H general projects, which are non-animal, everything from aeronautics to sewing, those awards will be on Monday evening. And of course, the hallmark event of the junior fair week is the Junior Fair Livestock Auction that will start at 3 o'clock on Friday. Not this Friday, but the Friday heading into
a week from Friday.
Heading into the final stretch of the fair. The final day of the fair will be Saturday, and they have really got a lot of activities at the fair this year. A lot of activities. There's something at the grandstand every evening, including so I don't misstate this. There's the Demolition Derby on the 24th of July. That's the final night. And the Demolition Derby is always a big hit. They're calling it the Brent Jenkins Memorial Demolition Derby because Brent Jenkins, a former Fair Board member, died a couple of years ago at the too young age of 55. And he was always a big aficionado and organizer of the Demolition Derby, so they've named it in his honor. The Diamond J Rodeo is on Tuesday evening, July the 20th at 6 p.m. Fast track motocross at 7 p.m. on Friday the 23rd. The truck and tractor pulls will be at 7 p.m. on Thursday evening, the 22nd. And then the Diamond J Rodeo will be on Tuesday evening, the 20th. So a thrill show every night. And then on Wednesday night, no thrill show, but they're going to have Jessie Adams, who we had up here. She was up here, wasn't she?
She was.
Okay, she is
super cute.
The featured attraction on Country Music Day on Wednesday.
Yep.
On Wednesday evening. So all that, and we'll maybe review that on Monday as well. But certainly go out there and support the Jackson County Fair. A lot of good things happening there, whether you're interested in entertainment and fair food or the junior fair thing, where it's the culmination of the year for all the 4-Hers and FFA members who have worked hard on projects.
That's right.
Leading up to the fair. All right, we want to tip our hat to Oak Hill School Board members Joe Elsess and Mike French.
Yep.
At a recent school board meeting, they were honored by the Ohio School Boards Association for 20 years of service. That is a long time to be a school board member. And if you're watching on your computer or on your phone or whatever, on the monitor, we have Joe Elsess showing in that picture. He's right in the center there. He is being presented the award from Kim Harless, Jackson City Board of Education member, who is a representative of the Southeast region of the Ohio School Boards Association. She is presenting Joe his certificate, and that is on the left, that is Paul Monk, who is a representative also of the regional arm of the Ohio School Boards Association. Mike French has served the same number of years as Joe Elsess, but he was not at the meeting, and so they'll send him the certificate. We want to certainly recognize him as well. I believe that Joe and Mike are the longest serving school board members in Jackson County, and they both happen to serve with the Oak Hill District.
Wow.
All right, this is just a little bit off our beaten track, but worthy of mention because it's a little grisly. It just shows that these things do happen close to home. This was in Hocking County, and this news comes from the Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. The criminal defendant, Michael Thomas Dixon, age 41 of Laurelville in Hocking County, was sentenced to 50 years in life in prison earlier this week for fatally shooting and killing James T. Whitaker, age 56. That happened in July of 2020.
Oh.
Now, it's just more than a murder case. In this case, Dixon then faked a suicide note to make it look like that Whitaker committed suicide, and then he dismembered Whitaker's body and buried it to try to conceal the crime. So this is Criminal Minds type stuff. And this happened in Hocking County. And Dave Yost, who is the Attorney General, who likes to make an example of some of these things that happen around the state, to give credit to law enforcement and the prosecutors, as well as point out these things do happen in our state and even in our area. He gave this statement: by murdering and then dismembering his victim in an attempt to evade authorities, the defendant showed a complete disregard for life. It's fitting that he will now spend the rest of his miserable life in prison. So pulling no punches there. That was our High Attorney General, Dave Yost, talking about this case in Hocking County.
Wow, that is wild.
All right, we will switch to the Apple Festival. We'll get light real quick.
Yeah.
The Apple Festival Committee announced late last week that it has its new theme for 2021. It is 80 years of Apple premieres.
Okay.
And that is, of course, a play on the fact that this will be the 80th Apple Festival. It's not the 80th year since the Apple Festival started. That was 1937. But because we missed last year and because we missed some years in World War II, this is actually the 80th.
The 80th Apple Festival.
The 80th edition of the Apple Festival that is usually annual, unless there's a war or a COVID-19 pandemic. Exactly. And the Bundy Elementary School PTO submitted the winning theme, because they do an online contest where you can submit a theme, and then on top of that, any member of the public who's online can then vote on their favorite theme.
Oh, very good.
So that's the theme for this year's Apple Festival. Also, speaking of Wellston, we can tell you that the Happenings Bistro, which is the new restaurant, I say quote new because they're going into where Lee's Steakhouse is. I think it's going to be a lot different. And of course, the name is different. They've got the new sign up, Jennifer. Happenings Bistro there on South Pennsylvania Avenue in Wellston, 1130 South Pennsylvania. It will replace Lee's Steakhouse. The new owners, Jeff and Cecilia Plummer, bought it earlier this year from longtime owner Lucinda Kessler, who had bought it from Lee Najim, the namesake of Lee's Steakhouse. They're working very hard to get the restaurant ready, staffing wise, getting the menu all up and all like that. That's a chore, especially when you're starting new. And they had hoped to open sometime around the 1st of July. They posted that unfortunately that's not going to happen, but they hope to do it soon.
Okay.
So sometime this summer for sure, and we know that they're working behind the scenes getting it ready.
Yes.
All right. If you're traveling in the city of Jackson, you need to be aware that some sections of streets and roads will be closed because they are repairing railroad crossings.
Okay.
Of course, we have railroad crossings crisscrossing our town in different places. Right now, the only place closed is on Burlington Road, there between Huron Street and South Street. And there you see a picture of that construction that's taking place right now. The entire road is not closed. It's just you can't get through. So from one end to the other, because
so you
the
just
crossing
have to pick the right end to try to enter where you need to go.
Right, exactly. If you're coming through, you'll have to go. You have to turn around and go another way. It's not a through street right there, that one block. But that is expected to be completed sometime on or before Monday, July the 19th, next Monday.
The good news is Jackson's set up in grids, folks. So you just go down to the next street, make a right or a left, and go around.
Well, and here are some other railroad crossing projects that are going to happen here in the next several days. So heads up, we've had these printed in the paper. We've got them on our website and on Facebook as well, on the Telegram sites. The section of Water Street, just off the downtown area between Broadway and Church Streets, that'll be closed starting Saturday, and that will be from 6 a.m. to noon. They hope to do that one there in just that 6-hour period. Also on Harding Avenue, the railroad crossing there, it will be closed starting on Monday, and that one they expect to take all week. It will hopefully reopen on Friday, July the 23rd. So the railroad crossing at Harding Avenue, right there near the Water Street intersection. A lot of people go through there, so a lot of people cut over, from Broadway on Harding to get to the other end of town. So you won't be able to do that all next week, it looks like.
Okay.
All right, but once again, you'll see it. Oh, I have to
Just
go the other
around.
way.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the other railroad crossing project is on Huron Street. There's railroad crossings there. It will be closed Monday, July the 26th, so that's the last week of the month, and they expect that to take a full week till Friday, July the 30th. The dates on the Huron Street repairs are kind of up in the air. That is one of the sections of streets that is to be paved as part of the city paving plan this year as well.
Okay.
And so these railroad crossings, that work really needs to be done first, obviously.
Right.
So if you're driving in Jackson, live in Jackson, or driving in Jackson, be aware of those construction projects. As it has done for many, many years, the Southern Hills Arts Council will be offering free art and craft classes for students in kindergarten through the 4th grade this summer, and it's coming up pretty soon. Teachers will be offering lessons on theater, art, and music. These classes are taken at 3 different locations. You don't have to come to Jackson if you live in Eau Claire or Wellston. You will have a local location. In Jackson, of course, it will be at the Marquet Cultural Arts Center right here in downtown Jackson, 269 East Main Street. In Oak Hill, it will be at the Oak Hill Public Library. That's at 226 South Front Street. And in Wellston at the Depot on South Railroad Avenue. The dates for the summer art classes at all 3 locations: Tuesday, July 27, Thursday, July 29, Tuesday, August 3rd, Thursday, August 5th, Tuesday, August 10th, and Thursday, August 12th, essentially over a 3-week period starting the week of the 27th on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 1-hour sessions. The deadline to register is Friday, July the 23rd. Not this Friday, but a week from Friday.
So you do need to kind of register.
You do need to register. They need to know how many's coming or whatever. And remember, these classes are free. They get outside funding support to be able to do this. And so, to my knowledge, you don't have to bring anything but yourself. Or if there is something you need to bring, they'll tell you that. But to register, no charge at all. You call the Marquet at 740-577-3841. Or you can email the event chair, who is Kelsey Stewart, at stewartkelsey@gmail.com. We have this story on our website and on our Facebook as well. And just go to the Southern Hills Arts Council or the Marquet website or Facebook, and you can probably get the same information as well. But these are very popular and, a great way for the kids to have a learning enrichment experience during the summer. All right. And then Kim Harless over at the Farm Bureau. This is where she's got her Farm Bureau hat on, not her school board hat or her Rotary hat.
You never know what hat she's wearing, do you?
Well, it's been very popular when they had apple butter there. They've also made it a point, and this is a great idea at the Farm Bureau, to promote agriculture products, to actually sell some local products from the Farm Bureau office. Because, the farmer's market is once a week. All the homegrown stuff isn't in all the local stores all at once. So you can go right to the Farm Bureau office, and right now what they are featuring is fresh ears of corn from Way Farms in Pike County. And they are selling ears of corn for only $7 a dozen.
Nice.
And this is homegrown corn. The Farm Bureau office, if you've never been there, is right downtown Jackson at 231 Broadway Street. Right across the street from the Kelly Wiley office is one way to tell you where it is. Right next to, right near the downtown treatery and where the Tasty Days of Old used to be. You can't miss it. They've got a sign right out front, and they may even have all those ears of corn in the window if they're marketing correctly.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
All right. Well, yes, it would. All right. Well, that's the news as I have it. I know you've got to do the weather and maybe talk about some other things.
Maybe. Did you hear before you go? And I heard this discussed. This story blew my mind that this can actually happen. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed like numerous people talking about this in the restaurant yesterday. But I don't know if you heard about this. There was a hospital in Cleveland that gave a wrong patient a new kidney.
Oh my. Okay. That's worse than putting the sponge in, isn't it? And leaving it there. You always hear about those.
Yeah. Cleveland University Hospital, we say they're sorry. I don't know what you say. The kidney was given to the wrong patient. The good news is they were compatible and the recipient is expected to recover. The surgery for the intended recipient, though, has been delayed because they don't know if another kidney is available. But I guess my question is, why couldn't then they take the kidney from the person they took and have it just be a big kidney swap? I don't know. Isn't this wild? How does that happen? I mean, I went to get blood drawn the other day and they asked me 52 times who I was, my name, and like checked everything like 50 times.
Okay, well,
How does that happen?
it shouldn't happen. That's all I can say. But the human equation.
The average time spent on a kidney wait list is 5 to 10 years. There are more than 100,000 patients on the list. Yeah. They're carefully reviewing the incident to make sure it never happens again.
I would think. I would say somebody's getting a lot of calls from attorneys. What do you think?
I would have to say, and the thing is, it says in the story, and now something else may have happened since then, they have placed 2 employees on administrative leave. Like, nobody fired, nobody whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that.
Right. Well, it's
Can you imagine?
You can imagine what a nightmare it would be if you're the family involved.
Yeah.
You know, you'd just be aghast.
I mean,
and angry.
So now you have, and you have 2 families. You have the one that's been, eagerly awaiting this kidney for God only knows how long and didn't get it. And then somebody that didn't need it, they got a new one. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with the one I have. I don't want someone else's if it's working.
Well, obviously the hospital has to do its due diligence on a review on that thing. And as far as the administrative leave, then there's always going to be due process in anything as you try to figure out.
That's true.
What happened and why.
That's a dilly. That's
is.
an accident that's like, no.
Well, it sends a message to all the health providers and hospitals that, you have to be careful. If you or I make a mistake, maybe it's a little bit of a different level.
Right, exactly.
Than if you're working at a surgical table.
Like, I'm sorry I gave you onion strings instead of French fries. My mistake. I can fix that pretty easy. A new kidney, not so much.
Right. Now, I can run a correction and say, I'm sorry.
Yes. You could spell someone's name wrong and then, whatever. But it's not the end of the world or life or death.
No, that's right. Well, that just goes to show you just how important, the healthcare is and how much is on the line.
It is.
Very precious.
Wow. Just wow. Okay. And I have Tiger King news for you too, but I won't make you stay for that, Pete, because I know you're a busy guy.
Okay. Well, I will exit stage right, and we'll work on that next paper and work on some of these things I just talked about. And I thank you for allowing me to come up and be on TV.
Thank you for always spending time with us.
All right.
And of course, Pete's Morning News Update brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs or questions, give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she'll be out working hard for you. All right, let's head over to your Total Media Radio weather forecast, where you can download that Total Media Radio app and listen to live local radio on your phone by just downloading that app. And you can then listen anywhere you are in the world, which is pretty cool. You don't have to worry about static, getting out of service, whatever, no problem. All right, for today, mostly sunny for the racing of the ponies tonight at the Jackson County Fair. Highs today around 89 degrees. For tonight, mostly clear, lows of 69. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, some thunderstorms in the works tomorrow. And that chance of thunderstorms tomorrow is about 60% with highs around 87 degrees. Then looking on to Saturday for your Jackson County Fair and the Kentucky Headhunters, mostly cloudy. Some showers are likely. Good temperatures though, highs around 82. So, but the great thing about that is it is not saying anything about thunderstorms. If we have a little bit of rain, I'm sure that they will be very, very happy to come out and sing no matter what. So if you don't have that lightning and thunder, you're probably in pretty good shape.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think so. So what's going on, James?
Well, I heard we were going to talk Tiger King.
Tiger
So
King.
I
I've got
fought
Tiger
off,
King
like,
news.
6 other people that wanted to come talk to you so I could be here.
Well, we appreciate the fact that, anytime you win,
Yep.
because you hang out with us the most. So,
Ugh.
but no, there's breaking Tiger King news. Can you believe it?
Yep.
Do you know what it is?
Well, I heard that the Nicolas Cage Tiger King miniseries had been canceled.
Yes, it
But
did.
you told me that there's even more breaking Tiger King news.
There's 2 breaking Tiger
Oh,
King
my.
news.
What
Crazy stuff.
crazy stuff.
Yeah. So we all know, and we have heard a couple of weeks ago, this whole Bill Cosby debacle thing happened. And it brought out a legal term that a lot of people had not heard, and that was his sentence being vacated.
Yeah.
So, well, Bill Cosby's sentence was vacated and just like erased. So they just opened the doors and let him out of jail and
Well,
whatever.
I might be wrong about Cosby, but he was sentenced to minimum of 3 years, right?
I don't
And he
even
had
remember.
served nearly 3 years.
Okay.
So he went in 2018,
Okay.
and his sentence was like 3 to 25 or something like that.
I gotcha.
So he had, my understanding, had already nearly served the minimum
Okay.
for his sentence.
All
Maybe
right.
that played a role. I don't know.
Maybe it did. I don't know. So you heard that term, though, the sentence being vacated. Well, so there was a Nicolas Cage whole thing going on. Well, that got vacated as well.
Apparently. Why would they not do that?
86. I don't know.
Who doesn't want? I mean, a lot of people don't want that.
I
But, like-
know.
But like, you're gonna watch it.
I feel like
I feel like
I
Nicolas Cage is just
feel-
gonna make that movie himself with like his iPhone.
I feel like he bailed. Nicolas Cage
Oh, you think
bailed.
so?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's a bummer.
So I know. So that's news number 1. News number 2, the Tiger King sentence has been vacated.
Oh my.
What? Joe Exotic. It's not nearly as good for him as it was for Bill Cosby, though, because he is currently sentenced to 22 years in prison. Yeah, and he's serving that term. Well, they went back to court. His sentence has been vacated, and that was clear back in 2018. He was indicted on 21 counts, including 2 murder for hire plots.
As you do.
Why is it so funny that we have to say this?
Because
Kill
'cause it
that,
was a
you know
joke.
What, Carol Baskin.
oh my gosh.
And also wildlife crimes, which,
Oh,
is not nearly as funny as his murder for
Right.
hire plot to kill
Well, like
Carol Baskin.
Yeah. I mean, he was seriously like abusive to the animals. He was just kind of a joke with his
His personal
more criminal. life.
he wasn't really a very
Yeah.
good criminal when it came to trying to
No.
kill Carol Baskin.
No.
But anyway, he was sentenced to 22 years in prison. Well, they went back to court, and they have decided that the district court acted within its discretion by allowing Baskin to attend the full trial. There was a big hubbub about that. If you remember, and you didn't watch the Tiger King, Carol Baskin was one of Joe Exotic's competitors, and he attempted to pay somebody $3,000 to kill him.
It's a bargain.
I mean,
You
at the
can't
end
buy
of
a-
the
you
day,
can't
is
buy
that
a-
all I'm worth? Is
You can't buy a
$3,000?
used car for that.
I know. So anyway, they did vacate his sentence. They said basically that I don't know the all the legal jargon.
Oh, you're not a
but
not a
I'm not an
licensed
attorney. I'm not one of them. They're
Oh.
attorneys.
My bad.
But They had sentenced him for like crimes individually, and the sentence should have been lumping them together. So they actually went from, I don't know if it's in this particular thing that I have, but they basically are going to take, he's going to be resentenced, and they're going to take like months to years off of his sentence.
So how long has he been in prison now?
I think since like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
I don't know. Time flies when you're having a global pandemic.
I heard that Carol Baskin was like willing to like, I don't know, drop her charges against him or something like that.
Well, that's nice of
right.
her.
Well, because those two would be making crazy bank, like doing like autograph signings and stuff right now.
That's the thing.
Right?
It's like she's like, he's way more valuable to me on the outside than the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, those two. I mean, like, yeah, the excitement over it has died down a little bit now, but like, imagine.
Good Lord. So he may be out faster, and they may be able to join forces faster.
Yeah, those two are going to be...
He will be out faster.
Yeah. Those two are going to be at every, like, Comic-Con.
That's what I was thinking,
autographs
too.
And stuff.
With, like, a big stuffed tiger.
Yeah, charging $200 for an autograph.
I don't know. I mean, you know, are you better to team up or continue to be rivals and still have this thing go on?
Yeah,
like,
but
I don't know.
Well, they're going to be rivals, like... Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor
right
are rivals.
because it's lucrative.
It's a lucrative rivalry. Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, but anyway, listen. I know there's very few people out there that have not seen the Tiger King, and it is complete and utter sanity. But you have to watch it.
Yeah, it's wild.
You cannot. It's like a train wreck that you cannot turn away from.
Yeah, pretty much.
For many episodes.
Yeah.
Jenna has not watched it.
She hasn't?
No.
What were you doing when quarantine kicked in?
Right. I mean, it's the first thing that everyone watched.
Literally,
watched Tiger King.
Yeah, literally, like, the government said you had to stay home, and then 2 days later, Tiger King came out.
the whole world. And Netflix goes... Because everyone's trying to watch the Tiger King.
My dad watched it, so I saw it that way. Or I heard about it that way. But, like, me and my mom, we just couldn't do it. Because, like, there were graphic parts in it. And, like, I don't know. There was a lot that I heard about that I was like, maybe I won't.
It's a lot of a lot. Yeah. Like, there's, like... It's like a soap opera. And it's like... Yeah. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Yep. No, you can't.
No Hollywood set can make this stuff up. No.
I love his, like, the commercial he made when he was, like, running for governor or whatever. Oh my gosh, so funny. Terrible, but hilarious.
Oh, the whole thing is just fantastic. It is just the most fantastic mess ever.
Yeah, they're in Oklahoma.
It's a beautiful mess,
right? Is that where they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Former owner of an Oklahoma zoo.
And then, like, Shaq's in it. Like, Shaq's at the Tiger Park. And since then, Shaq has had to come out and say that he, like, doesn't support Joe Exotic.
Who was it that got into the... Oh, I know what it was. When Miranda Lambert, because she does a lot of animal rescue stuff.
Yeah.
And she had actually, before he got into all the trouble, he had actually lent her and let her use his trailers to help rescue some animals.
Yeah.
So then that came out and it hit the fan that they were like, and she's like, whoa, like he literally like lent me his trailer. He was nice enough to do that, like to transport animals that needed to move. I think it was like during one of the hurricanes or something, and they were trying to move animals.
One of the people in that show, he had like donated tigers to like the Britney Spears like music videos or something like that. It's just, I mean, it just gets stranger and stranger.
It does.
It's just all these weird things.
All these Hollywood people are like, oh my God, please, for the love of God, don't let some picture come out of me being there with him.
We thought we were just going to see cute tigers. We didn't know we were involved in this insanity.
In this mess. This murder for hire plot of this character dude that's... And then you've got the boyfriend that just walks in and accidentally shoots himself in the head.
Oh.
That happens. I forgot about that till just now. The man child that he came to love and date. Yeah.
Right in front of his gubernatorial campaign manager, who he had hired from like a bait shop or something like that.
Dude, you just have to watch it, man. You just I feel like I want to go home and watch it again just because. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Tiger King on Netflix.
Oh,
You gotta tune in. You gotta tune in. And last but not least, and really weird news,
Non-tiger related news.
non-tiger related news, a DoorDash driver is in some serious trouble after he picked up an order from Chipotle in Brooklyn and was supposed to deliver it to a police officer, and he, shall we say, messed with it.
Yeah.
His Chipotle order. Dude, DoorDash driver, opens up said Chipotle bowl that he's supposed to deliver to a cop, rifles through it, and evidently stuck other things in it that... How can we even... I don't even know what to say about it.
It was a man, and he put things in it.
His
A
man things
thing
in it.
it.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Then evidently. And then he wrote a note that said that he did all of these things and took handfuls of the bowl out, put note in the middle of the bowl, put it back down,
So
close
this
lid.
makes me think of in Super Troopers when they go to the restaurant and the guy's like, double cheeseburger, it's for a cop. And the guy's like, why'd you say that? Like, I'm just letting them know so they make it extra good. And then he's got his hamburger later. He looks at it. He shows the other guy. He's like, does that look like spit to you? And the guy's like, yeah.
It's not funny. That's not funny. But yeah,
Super Troopers is
Super
funny.
Troopers is funny.
Don't, if you work at a restaurant, don't spit in people's
Yeah, don't
food.
know.
And
That's
definitely
not,
don't do that.
No, none of this. We're laughing at the absurdity of this horrific. This is horrible. I'm not even going to tell you what the note said because it would probably get us taken off the air and arrested or something.
I mean, I think I think you can say whatever you want on Facebook as long as it's good
You get the
expense.
gist of what the guy said that he did.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. And the note goes into detail about it. Needless to say, the DoorDash driver is no longer with DoorDash.
I had one of my
Don't do that stuff, man. That's awful.
I had one of my friends say he's
That's terrible.
big on, you know, like every fast food place has an app now.
Yeah.
He likes to order through the app. And I guess the restaurants, a lot of those apps, they can't tell the difference between like a customer order and a DoorDash order. And he says anytime he goes in to pick up food that he's ordered on the app, the employees are like super rude to him because they think he's a DoorDash driver.
Oh no. That's crazy. I could see that though, because they're like taking
There
their.
could be a statement on how much he's ordering.
That
If
too.
he's taking so much, they think he has multiple deliveries.
You're right about that. Well, I can tell you, there are a lot of DoorDash member drivers and Grubhub that kept people fed during this pandemic, and they should be commended for that.
Yeah.
This guy, obviously
That
not
guy
so
maybe
much,
not as
but
much.
no, that's not okay. But that being said, it
It's
was a
funny.
really good deal, but it is a little much. I hope the guy didn't eat down into the bowl and then find the
I hope
note.
I hope he just left the note and didn't actually do those things.
Right.
But, you know. Never know.
And I will say, in their defense of Grubhub, DoorDash, all of those, anytime I've ever ordered from them, everything has been sealed to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody got big on sealing things in general.
So if you don't get something that's like really sealed up,
Yeah.
I would probably question it.
Yeah.
because I mean they've gone so far as to like literally get self-sealing bags
Mhm.
that are hard to get open and stuff like that. So
Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to get my food then. Like, how do I open this bag? I'd be out of luck.
I'll show you sometime.
Okay,
James.
thank you. Can you show me how to open the Tylenol bottle? Too?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I did have to have Jamie show me how to open a pill bottle the other day because I could not figure it out from CVS.
Oh, no.
Just to let you know, he literally had to show me.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, thank you so much for watching today. Thanks for Pete coming up and telling us all about what's going on. We'll give you some more news about the Jackson County Fair tomorrow. As we do kick off tonight, don't forget, you can get out $5, bet on the ponies, have a great time.
I think I might go down.
It'd be
Since
fun.
it's not going to be nice tomorrow, I might
Yeah.
go down tonight.
Yeah, be fun. And thank you for filling in
You're
for a
welcome.
minute. We appreciate it. It's always good talking with you. And of course, it's always fun to talk about the Tiger Kings.
Yep. I'm sorry, I didn't have any Jimmy Buffett stories.
That's
The
all right.
Tiger
That's Jenna's
King's
department.
Second best. Wonder if the Tiger King has ever run over somebody's foot with a parade float.
I don't know. We need to write him a letter and find out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that should be a new question that we ask all guests. Have you ever been in a
Have
parade
you ever
float
been in
related
parade-
accident?
This
Because if
This is
anybody
good.
has, it's going to be a great story that they would never have told otherwise.
that is true.
It's probably more common than you think.
And do you or do you not wear neckerchiefs? That seemed to be the culprit.
Yeah. Less
That
things
darn
tied around your
handkerchief
neck.
around his neck.
Anyway,
Yep. Have a great day. Enjoy some sunshine, some warm temperatures today. And we'll be right back here tomorrow on Friday. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
bye.